You know, at the time, I mean, early hip hop, it was 808 drum machines. It was boom, ka, 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 boom, ba, da, 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 you know, and everybody rhyming on top of the beat. I believe that the first artist of note that I did who was into hip hop that I worked with was Stetsasonic, and I worked on, I believe it's On Fire or In Full Gear or whatever the first record was. Something that was going on at the time, which wasn't so cool. And fortunately, I was able to see people as people. I'd always worked in the Black community, and it was like not even a thing to me. But the engineering establishment at that point, and to a certain degree still is, a white male boys club. You know, it's funny, the engineering establishment no longer exists because everybody can buy something and go home and do it themselves. So that's the professional well, no, I won't say professional. That's the engineering establishment. But at the time, for the most part, it was a white male boys club. And not that there weren't Black musicians in the studio, but most of the engineers were white, and they were almost certainly all guys. And you have to understand that they were used to working with really the best studio musicians in the world and the same arrangers all the time. And they work in the same studio with the same gear. So they'd see the gang. They'd see the same guys. Hey, Johnny, how you doing? How's your wife? And they'd set up the same microphones and record stuff in the same way all the time. And everybody was a pro, really at the top of their game. Great studio musicians, good arrangers. They lay down charts. The guys would read it down, and on the second time through, they had the record. All of a sudden, there was a bunch of African-American kids coming in from deep Queens or Brooklyn or the Bronx, talking shit. You know, everybody was 17. They'd never been in a place, and all of a sudden the studio had carpet all over the place and really nice stuff in it. And, you know, there was an adjustment on both sides, but there was a sort of undercurrent of racism, unconsciously, but that went on at the time, which a lot of the engineering establishment said, this shit's not music, I'm not doing this, which I don't necessarily think was racially motivated, but I also think that in terms of sort of social strata, these people really didn't care to sit down with the kids who came through the door and said, hey, what do you want to do? How can I help you? You know, what's funny? I didn't kind of get that till 10 years later. But to me, that was something that was notable about engineering, and particularly at that point in hip hop. And trust me, as soon as record labels and studio owners found out that, wow, there's a lot of money coming, we can book a lot of sessions here. Wow, it seems like all this hip hop work's coming in and we're not getting the old work anymore. Then everybody got on the bandwagon once there was money there.